Ever been in a cave before?
It's our first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the car!
But how will we?
The car! Your offer has been accepted. Ever bought a house before?
It's our first time.
All right.
Where are you going?
I'll see you at the closing.
But how will we?
The closing!
Well, happy Wednesday, everybody.
Hello. How are you?
I am good. We have one of my favorite people on the show today. I mean, I have known this person. She's the most bubbly person, I think, in the world, no matter what is going on. You can always count on her for a smile, and she always puts a smile on my face, but we're going to talk about her in a second. Excuse me. I am in Earbud Central. So apparently, Dana and I, since we're now actually, if this wall, we're going to get like a hole put in the wall, a little pass through, because that's how close we are, but we still can't hear each other. But apparently everybody else in the world can hear us, because Dana and I, neither one of us have soft voices. So our administrator he says, I had to go home yesterday because of you. I'm like, what? Because he can hear what was coming out of my speakers, Dana's mouth, my mouth, and then it all just kind of congealing together. So I got my fancy earbuds, and hopefully I can hear everything okay, and y'all can hear me okay. So anyway, Dana, what's going on?
What's going on? So things are hyping up here. We had a great office meeting yesterday, and I really enjoyed the way that we were able to do virtual awards. We took pictures of the awards, and then while we were giving them out via Zoom, we had our agents. We gave them the Zoom floor, and they got to talk, and we all got to celebrate, and it was super fun. So I really enjoyed our Zoom meeting yesterday, and we are, as a company, getting excited for the 100-day business plan to rule the recovery. Getting everyone signed up for that overview and to do the workshop. And so that was exciting. And I've had lots of our agents reach out and tell me when they're going to do their workshop. So excited about that. I have lost 2 deals this week, 2 multiple offers. So there you go. I don't think that the real estate market's real slowing down, or it's heating up, or some goods going on. So that was not great news for my buyers, but
it's encouraging though for others. I mean,
in general,
we've got several people that are bumping back. They're finally, these sellers are starting to get ready to list. We just picked another one up for Monday. So it's starting to happen. It's gradual. It's, there's still people out there that are very concerned. I know the gyms are open, but not everybody wants to go back. And I was talking to Andy, one of our agents, about just going to Qdoba, and they refuse to wear a mask at a food service place. So it's still a little bit not quite there yet.
Right,
but little by little, very excited.
Be cautious. Be responsible, be kind to one another, be understanding. This is a very intricate dance, people, and we can all just hope that we're doing the best that we all can. And again, cautiousness, responsibility, mindfulness, positivity, kindness, all good.
All right. Well, we talk about that every show. So let's move on to happy, fun time. She is here. I know. Well, she is. I know. She's here. She's fabulous. She's just. I have known Jodi. Jodi, how long have I known you? My goodness, it's been a long time.
Oh my gosh, it's been a long, long time. When I think of you, I'm thinking we've known each other. I mean, years and years.
You know what? I can. This is the thing. This is just a little personal thing, but I know every time I go to conventions or anything like that where you're going to see me, it's like you've seen. It's always this. It's just like you haven't seen me ever in 20, 30 years, and I count on that, and it warms my heart. So, like I said, you're one of my favorite people.
Right back at you, to you and Dana both.
Oh, well, so what have you been doing the past few months here? Obviously, we've had a change in business, but I can tell you that our corporate leaders and like yourself, and you can tell everybody what your title is and all that in a second. But tell us what's going on. What's been happening?
Oh, so what's been happening? First of all, hello, everyone. I'm so glad that you're here. I have not been able to travel since February 27th. And I know that date well because that was right after 121 in Los Angeles. And that's when we were,
last time I saw you.
Yes, that's when we were told, no traveling. And I am not really good at sitting at home in front of my computer. So I've had to do a complete adjustment. So I've been really busier than ever, just, focusing on helping brokers and owners navigate through something we've never been through before. And so it's been quite interesting. I mean, and, you were talking about the gyms a while ago. Ours hasn't opened up yet down here right outside of Tampa. I'm actually in the Lakeland area. But I did go out right after I found out the gyms were closed, and I bought some dumbbells. So I've been working out at home and trying to stay fit and keeping my mind occupied.
I watch you vicariously on Facebook, and I know that to be very true. Here's the important question: how do we get one of those fabulous backgrounds?
Oh my goodness. So these were sent to all of us right before this whole pandemic. And these are to go with us to offices. So if Rachel and I, whenever we come to your office, we will bring this with you. But as far as getting you one, I can hook you up. I can see about that.
I knew you could. I'm not. You know how shy I am about asking for anything.
I know you got to come out of your shell a little bit more.
I know. I'm trying. I'm really trying. So what? I know you travel a tremendous amount of time. I mean, you're constantly on the road. Anyone that watches you on Facebook knows that you're on different sides of the coast, different ends of the coast, and constantly working and all of that. And we know a lot of the same people that you work with. So it must be hard to be at home, and good and bad. I know you have, you have family and all of that. So they're probably enjoying it, but it's got to be tough not traveling. But I don't think I'm quite ready to travel just yet. I'm
not ready to actually travel either. I by car, I'll be okay, but I'm not ready to hop back on an airplane yet. And,
sure. Can you tell for those that don't know who you are, can you kind of, tell them what you do, what your title is, and what you do for a living?
Sure. So my name is obviously Jodi Myers, and I do work for Century 21 Corporate, the corporate headquarters. They're based out of Madison, New Jersey. However, I work remotely out of just right outside of Tampa, as I said before, in Lakeland. And I work with brokers, owners, and managers from Texas all the way up to Virginia. I started in real estate back in 2003 as an agent, and I was an agent for about 5 or 6 years, and then ran an office for about 5 or 6 years after that. And then I've been on the corporate side now for just over 6 years. I love it. Absolutely. If we have time, I'll tell you my story on how I got started in real estate. It's pretty fun to tell.
We will make the time for you, dear.
Okay. It's just proof that no matter where you come from, what your background is, how much money you have, what your situation is, wherever there's a will, there is a way if you want something bad enough.
Absolutely. And Dana, you look like you're chomping at the bit to ask a question because I've been running the conversation, but
I know.
I can't help it. I
I'm
just adore her
wondering,
so much.
For our agents that are out there, tell us what are some new great things that corporate has coming to us. David is so excited about the virtual open houses. I don't know if that's the most interesting thing that we have coming down, but tell us what do we have to look forward to from corporate?
So the newest tool right now is the virtual open house. And, I know a lot of agents, a lot of people want to get back to doing, full-blown open houses where they invite people, come in like you used to, have food and everything. And the reality of the climate that we're in right now is that some people, may want to get out and go to open houses if your state allows it, but others may not. Some people may not feel comfortable for a long time to come going to an open house. So Century 21 really moved fast and developed the virtual open house. And what that means is that you go into 21 online and you go to virtual open house, type that in the search bar, and you can schedule a virtual open house on any of your listings and on century21.com, like a normal open house would be displayed. It will display the time of your virtual open house, and then the consumer can see the house live from the comfort and safety of their own home. And I have gotten such great response from agents that have used it. It's so easy. It's so easy.
So
Super
I've got
duper.
a couple questions. So this is happening, in real time. And
It is.
so is there a platform for the consumer to interact with the agent? Or is where that
I'm not sure if I know it's done. You can do it on any like Zoom, any type of virtual streaming tool that you have, but I'm not sure. David, you said that you actually
I'm laughing because I can't believe you would just. I tried to mention this to her 30 minutes ago. Oh, I can't possibly be bothered with anything. I just don't know. You just handle it. And I was going to I could have told her all this, but she's just having a conversation.
Question right now about
Because she doesn't trust my knowledge. She trusts you, Jodi, more than she trusts me. That's what it is.
That might be true. That might be true.
I can tell you what it is. It's actually because.
Tell us.
Oh, can I just do this? Okay, so.
Where did Dana go?
She can jump back in anytime she wants. She has as much control as I do. I will tell you that in actuality, I can mute you too. I can tell you that they have several platforms. Like Andy Anderson, one of our agents, is doing it, and he's got a Zoom account. So he's using Zoom, which I really like the Zoom account because they can capture, in order to log in, they have to get their name and an email address and a phone number, or one or two of the one or the other.
That's really
and that's amazing. But
Yeah.
for those of us that don't have a Zoom account, you can use Facebook Live. You can do YouTube Live. You can get a YouTube account for free and go live on YouTube. So the difference is you're not capturing as much on YouTube Live unless they make a comment. On Facebook Live, if they come in, you can kind of see who came in there. And then you got to kind of go backwards and try and grab them, maybe friend them on Facebook or send them a message, do what you can. It's just not his thing. But the ability to log in with Zoom, and then they basically, you can use Zoom on your camera or your iPad, whatever, and you can walk them through the house. So it's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
It's
Wonderful.
super easy. And the best part about it is that when you, I'm on Siri's trying to talk to me on my computer. When you, shut up. Excuse me. When I forgot my train of thought. You just made me forget what I was going to say.
David, I'll tell them what you're trying to say. So it is just so amazing that corporate has pivoted. So that's my new word, pivot, has pivoted so well and really taken this idea of the virtual tour to so easy for the consumer to interact with it.
Yes, it is.
And to access it. And, I think what we've been saying many times throughout the past, 2 months is that This experience has, while bringing a lot of angst and, unfortunate tragedy to some people, it has also brought some innovation and brought some silver linings. And for us, we're seeing this new virtual situation, virtual touring of homes as
Right.
a plus for the consumer. And really giving us the opportunity to get them the best information about the house. And we're actually doing virtual on Thursdays on this segment at 2:00, where we go live to Facebook and YouTube. We do open houses in the area, and not just with our agents, but with any agents that have houses in the area. And we're loving it.
I wanted to show you this, guys. I wanted to show you. So this is what it looks like. You see this red stream up here? That is, you'll notice the next house below is more expensive, and the one below that, if I scroll up, is less expensive. So just from a exposure point of view, being able to put that on there, you now get top ranking in your area. So that's another cool thing about it.
How much does this cost you to do?
Oh, it's very, 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 very expensive. You get out of my head. I do that to my agents all the time. I'm like, and how much does it cost you to develop that digital film? And do all that? Oh, it's zero. Yeah.
Exactly.
So so it's kind of cool. The people go in and they click on it, and then I'm going to make the thing here a little smaller now so you guys can see it. All they have to do is they go, don't miss that, and then they click on here. They attend a Zoom meeting. Can you guys see it? Okay, I hope.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's a new. You know what? That's a new screen. I don't think you. Let me share the right screen here, and I'll show you what is so cool about doing this on a Zoom meeting, is because they can come in and here we go, and they have to register. Look at all that. They got to put all that stuff in there, and then the agent gets an email from them, and so that the person has their information and you have theirs. I mean, vice versa. I mean, that to me is just like. Oh.
That is really cool.
And as Andy was saying, if you're not, we have to look at, Dana and I always try to look at things on the bigger picture of, okay, brand new agent maybe doesn't have the budget to pay for Zoom on a monthly basis. I think you can get 1 hour of Zoom for free, by the way. First, they're not going to be able to keep doing it, but I think actually you can keep signing in just no more than an hour.
But you can use Facebook,
But you could, but those who if you don't have Zoom and you can't justify the cost right now, perfectly understandable. Use Facebook Live, use YouTube Live. Yeah. So it's a pretty cool platform. And I when I first heard about it, I didn't know what it was going to be. But now after watching Andy go through it, my mind, I have my notepad. So cool. It's full of notes of things. I've got to go step by step, as Dana would make me say. She makes me write it down. Yeah. She's got me trained well, I tell you.
To all our agents out there, David is going to be interfacing with you guys and helping you do it on your own properties that we have listed. So I'm excited.
Yes, we are very excited. Was that your big news, Jodi?
That was one of them.
No, you said you had something else. You had something to tell us that maybe people aren't talking about.
Well, okay. So, I wanted to touch upon this, and I really, it's, oh gosh, I'm such a positive person. And, I've been through so much on a personal level, and truly what we go through in life makes us exactly who we are. And, I look back over the last 6 to 8 weeks and I'm like, holy moly, we have been on one heck of a roller coaster. I mean, none of us have ever been through anything like this that I'm aware of. We did go through the housing crash in, 8, 9, and 10, but, that was pretty much the housing crash. It was specific to the housing market. And, this has just affected everyone. We've all had to change everything in the way that we've done everything today. So something I did want to talk about today is, and again, don't let me forget, because I would like to tell you the story of how I got started in real estate. You get on these broadcasts, you get on, speakers, and you hear, people coaches, and you're like, well, what real life experience do they have in real estate? And if you're a real estate agent, I've been where you are. So David and Dana, when you guys asked me to join today, I'm like, okay, so what value can I bring? Something that you may not have heard before. And so I really did some thinking. And over the past 17 years, it doesn't matter what market we're in. I get the same questions from agents over and over and over again. 17 years, it hasn't changed. Technology is much more advanced nowadays. There's Zillow nowadays. There's Facebook and Instagram, but the questions still haven't changed. And honestly, the answer hasn't changed. And so think about this. What is the number one question do you think a coach or someone in real estate or an agent always asks someone? The ones that I get are, how do I make more money? How do I be a better agent? How do I get started? How do I get out of the funk I'm in? I'm just not motivated. I just don't want to do this, day in and day out. I need a vacation. How do I gain more market share? It's those questions that I've heard consistently over 17 years. So I wanted to stop for a moment. And I want you guys to think about that question, those questions. What truly does separate someone that truly achieves their goals, is truly out there smashing it, regardless if it's 9/11, if it's the market crash of 2008-9, if it's a pandemic, if it's anything that's going on in their life. I want you to think about it. I want you to come up with an answer. And maybe if you're watching live, type it in the chat. Can you guys see the chat?
We can.
We can.
I don't know if anybody's commenting.
This is what someone's commenting about you.
What?
Can you see it?
She might be able to see it.
You don't get to see it?
No,
it's there.
One
They're saying how fabulous you are.
from our stand.
Dana, I see that. Oh, Dana,
Yes,
Dana,
we can see it, and we always encourage them to write things out. I can answer your question. I think I know the answer.
Well, let me hear what you have to say.
I would say it's your attitude. For me,
that's a big part.
I think it's, and I've been up and down with this whole thing we're going through right now. When you look at the potential for business and people are just not responding the way you want them to, at first I don't take it personally. I try to put myself in their shoes, but I also, the bigger thing, since we are now the owners of the company, it weighs even heavier. But I just think, I'm like, this is temporary. This is not forever. This lull in business is not forever. If I look back at just in my last 5 years, every year, I go through it all the time. Every beginning of the year, I think, oh my God, where are the people? Why aren't they buying? Why aren't they selling? And what am I doing wrong? And I get in my own head.
Yeah.
I need to get out of
it's head trash.
Yeah, head trash. I'm going to use that. I like that. Head trash.
Yeah,
Dana.
it's head trash.
Dana's butt hurt. Mine will be get out of your, throw away your head trash.
Your head trash. But so here, and you're exactly right. And the one thing that I think so many agents that, not necessarily struggling, but just want to do better, be better, take it to that next level. There's one thing that they're not doing and they're not telling themselves or they're not thinking like, and attitude is definitely part of it. But the top producing, or not necessarily top producing, but ones that are hitting their goals, the one thing is they talk like, they act like, and they think like a what?
A winner.
Yeah, that's true. A winner. That could be, yes. But what do you think? Come on, let me hear. David, what do you think?
I think they talk and act like they're successful.
Well, that's true. Yeah, daily affirmations.
Like they are a business owner.
There you go. Which is they think and act and talk like a president and CEO
of their own company.
Yes. Yes. And if every agent out there would just get up every morning and put that CEO hat on and act like there's 100 people beneath them watching what they're doing. So David, you were spot on. CEOs maintain a positive attitude regardless. Why?
Mm-hmm.
Because they have to, because people are watching them, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
The second thing is they have a growth mindset. So CEOs are constantly looking at ways to grow their business. They have a constant desire to learn, right?
Yes.
Right.
Who goes to Top Agent and who goes to 121?
The owners of the company.
And a lot of the top agents, because they want to learn, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they're the owners of their own
Business.
business. Yeah.
Yes. So CEOs are they're focused on performance. A couple more things is, as a CEO of your company, you need to function, as a leader, not just a doer, someone that is reactive, but you've got to have a clear strategy. So for example, some people may be still trying to figure out their strategy 7 weeks after this whole COVID started. But when should you have started your strategy?
You should have already been using your strategy already.
Exactly.
John, and I will tell you, and hold your thought there, because I will tell you flat out that our company, meaning not just us as Century 21 Professional Group, but our company, Century Corporate, has done an amazing job at making sure that if you don't have a plan right now, or you're not doing anything, and you have no one to blame but yourself at this point, because there is so much information being thrown at you to say, you can try this, you can try that. There are opportunities abound around what you can do right now. So I don't buy into it when somebody wants to, if they want to use this as an excuse, that's on you, because there is so much you can be doing right now.
I agree. Something too is your strategy now should be different than it was 2 months ago. So, and that's what I'm saying, thinking like a CEO is constantly thinking about your strategy. I know what I would be doing, right now. Well, let's actually talk about, let's actually talk about a strategy. So what should you be doing right now?
Well, you go ahead, Dana.
Well, you need to be really making sure that you have your business plan in place. That you
and we didn't even rehearse this. Yes, exactly.
That you're ready to be structured on a regular basis. That that business plan leads to the actions that you need to take. It leads to the skills you need to acquire, and it leads to the positive mental energy that you need to surround yourself with in order to make the plan happen. I tell my agents all the time, because like you, I have been in this business for 16 years.
A long time, yeah.
And it's all the agents, they're looking for the magic bean. Where's the magic
pill? Exactly, Dana.
And so I used to, for many years, I just would shut them down and say, there is no magic bean. Just get over it. There is no magic bean. But I've gotten now, because I've learned to play the game. I say, you know what? I have the magic bean. Come here and I will tell you what it is. And they get in real close, because they are like, oh my God, she's fun.
You have Dana has the magic pill.
And I say, folks, it's working smart. It's actually working. And in order to do the work, you got to plan well. So the magic strategy is a good plan that you work on a consistent basis. There it is, folks.
So let me ask this. So you bring up a good point. So we're talking about goal setting in business, because that should be the strategy right now. Is okay. Now that we're almost into, believe it or not, it's the middle of May. We're almost into June. Before we know it, it's going to be the end of June. 6 months, we're into the year. So where are you towards your goals? The goals and resolutions you set in December and January, you need to, I mean, we're coming up on the, half the year, but here's the thing. You can say it till you're blue in the face, Dana. Everything you said is so spot on. But guess what? You've got to do it. It's so amazing. Guess what happens. This is crazy. Y'all aren't even going to believe this. Guess what happens when you consistently go to the gym and start working out?
I wouldn't know that.
The goal.
I have to excuse myself from this question.
Let me reverse that. David, what happens when you consistently eat all the yummy foods and drink all the yummy drinks?
You're looking at it.
But you get what I'm saying? I mean, I can say this till I'm blue in the face. Dana and David, you could say it to your blue in the face. But let me ask another question. Why do agents not set goals? Why do they not?
Well, and I was going to piggyback on what you're saying. A lot of it is fear of failure. It's just fear to fail. And so, and right now, we go over in our business, in our sales meeting every month, we go over our numbers. If they're great, if they're amazing, if they're bad, if they're horrific, it doesn't matter. I put them out there. And the way I manage is I manage by example. So our idea is we're going to show you what's going on in the company. We're hoping you're doing this on your own. And so I'm telling you, yesterday, when I went over the sales for this coming month, it's ugly. It's just flat out ugly. And we didn't shy away from that. And we didn't want to pretend like it wasn't happening. But what I said to the agents is, there are things in our lives that we can control. And there are things in our lives that we cannot control. Right now, we cannot control this pandemic. We cannot control whether people feel safe, whether they have the mindset or the money or the whatever to do the buying than do the selling right now. What we can control is becoming the ones they trust. So when they are ready to do that, they come to us. And that's about making our contacts now. So while, yes, doing your business plan, you are going to have to look at last year. And right now it's going to be scary because you're like, oh my God, I can't do what I did last year. Like right now, right now, today you can't. But we have a lot of people, experts saying that it's going to get better, possibly, late summer into the fall, into the winter.
Well, what comes down must do what? What goes down must do what?
Must go up. And we've seen them.
What goes up must go down. So, I mean, that's what real estate does. That's what it does. Those of you that have been in the business 15, 20 years, that's what it does.
Exactly. And if you've ever watched the stock market, and if you've ever, it's just, this is cyclical. Life is cyclical.
It is. Absolutely. But
they can control what they do. The contacts they make, the learning they do, the steps they take to create a positive mind frame. And so that's what we are all about here. I'm so glad you came because you speak our language.
Yes, exactly. Something too is, guess what Century 21 offers? Agents.
A business plan builder.
Yes. We'll keep that a secret, but it's a business planning tool, and it tells you exactly how many contacts you have to make a day to hit your goal. How crazy is that? And guess how much it is?
I'm going to go with 0. I have a question. So let's talk about that, because I think this is where, and I may be opening up a can of worms here. So
no, David.
I think
but you know what it is that it's great to know how many contacts you need to make, but I think a lot of people, their thing is, well, I don't know these. They're where they fall down, I think, as well, is that I have a big book of business, but other people don't, and meaning that I can go back to people from 20 years ago that I've stored in my database. Other people that are brand new, they don't have those contacts, and they don't know how to make those contacts with people. So I think that's where it gets where it's great to have a business plan. You say you're going to talk to 5 to 10 people a day, but where do you find these people? I think is the part of the missing link with that type of thing.
So maybe now is a good time to throw in my story on how I got started.
It's an awesome time. But actually, I want to say one thing that I also, just because I've been trying to say this for the past 20 minutes, but for God's sakes, I can't get a word in edgewise anymore. I knew this was going to happen too, by the way. That's why I kind of like at the beginning, I'm like, Dana, just don't talk for a second. No, it's what somebody posted on Facebook yesterday that Broadway is going to be closed until September 6th.
Oh, wow.
She's in the entertainment business. And what her post, but that wasn't the point of her post. The point of her post was that, listen, we get that everyone in the entertainment business is down and all and out, but we've got to change our mental thinking about the negativity part of it, because it feeds into this gloom and doom that we have in our mindset, and maybe making people not want to get out and not want to reopen and not want to do things like that. I'm part of it myself. I mean, people talking about the gyms that our trainer is finally allowed to be open, but I'm still a little hesitant because I'm hearing all these other things from other people. And it's a fine line between safe, of course, but also about being realistic about what the things are. So I think it's important that we start being a little more nicer to ourselves about this and understand that, yes, this is a real thing, but also not making it so gloom and doom. And like, what was it, Dana, yesterday? The sky is falling. The sky is falling. She had 3 different pictures. Dana showed 3 different pictures at our meeting. The sky is falling. What was the other one? The one with the big eyes. And then the other one was just someone kind of, okay. And I think we need to get to some of that. We know everything at this point. We know what's going on to an extent. We don't need to talk about it every single day and bring ourselves down. Yeah. So that's what I wanted to get off my chest. It's like maintaining, people are looking to us because we're one of the few companies or services that has been allowed to stay open the entire time. We need to be positive about these things. It doesn't mean we're saying, this thing, no one's going to get it, it's gone. No, we're not saying that, but we got to be positive about it. And then there's your story.
Yeah. So, positivity goes a long way. I mean, attitude is everything. And I mean, you guys are probably like, oh my God, I hear that all the time, but it really, truly is all about your attitude. If the sky is falling, some people are going to say, oh no, I'm dead. And other people are going to say, okay, here's my strategy. So that I make it through this and come out on the other side better than I did before I went into it. So talking about business planning, and what if you don't have contacts, or you're brand new in the business, you don't have a sphere of influence, and Dana and David are saying, here, new agent, call your sphere of influence. You're like, I just moved here. What am I supposed to do with that? So it does not matter what your background is. If you just moved here, where you come from, the money in the bank, none of that matters. And we talked about this at the very beginning, is that if you want something bad enough, you will find a way. So when I first got started in real estate, I had just moved to Orlando from Atlanta. My husband had lost his job. We had 3 very small children. We sold our house in Georgia and paid the last $1,000 that we had at the closing table just to get out of our mortgage. I think we had to let a car go back at the time. All I know is we moved to Florida with this amount of money, 0, absolutely nothing. And no jobs, no nothing. I don't know if I'd recommend that with 3 small kids unless you've got a really good support system, because we all could have starved at one point. So we get to Florida, and I'm looking at my husband. What are you going to do? He's looking at me. Well, what are you going to do? And I'm like, well, I've never worked before, so I don't know what I'm going to do. So I said, oh, our agent that sold our house, look how much money she made. And she didn't do anything, right? Because realtors make a ton of money and they don't do anything. So, boy, was I wrong. So anyway, I went and got my real estate license, took the 5-week course, got my real estate license. Long story short, ended up joining Century 21. Best decision ever. Well, Century 21 has amazing training. And back then they had Create 21. I took Create 21, had to borrow the money from my dad, had to borrow the money to get my license from my dad, had to borrow money to join the board from my dad. And if you don't know my dad doesn't touch money. He doesn't like to spend it. So asking him for money, that was, I'll never forget it. So anyway, I start taking this Create 21 course, and guess what they do in this course, now called Accelerate through Century 21? They teach you everything you need to know on how to be a successful agent. So I went through the course, long story, got to the expired part. I was 3 weeks into the business, called an expired listing, ended up getting the listing, and sold it within 3 weeks. Okay. So what did I do right there? We're talking about not having clients, not having a sphere of influence. So what did I do to get a customer? I don't have a sphere of influence. I called what?
You called an expired.
I called an expired. Holy moly. Did I die?
No.
You did not, because you're still here.
Exactly. So the point I'm trying to make is, and the whole story, I could go on about that, is you will find ways to meet people. I literally would talk to everybody I know. And of course, now with social media, holy moly, you can just start friending people all over, and their friends, and people just start getting to know you. And now we've got this virtual online tool through Century 21. But I will tell you, the best thing to build your sphere is to go after for sale by owners, go after expireds, and just talk to and reach out to as many people as you can, because that snowballed for me once I got that listing. Ended up being, as crazy as this is, was Rookie of the Year my first year in real estate for the Century 21 office. And I think the third year into it, I was making six figures. And again, that was from having zero sphere of influence.
So, do you teach that? Do you teach prospecting like that with expireds?
I don't do any teaching, but our university, Century 21 University, does. Yes. There are actually 4 trainers on that team, and there is an expireds listing class. Yeah.
Curious. That's not my bag. I mean, but what I'm saying is, it doesn't have to be my bag, but to be somebody else's. That's what I'm saying is I'm not a good person to, what I'm really saying is that I'm not a good person to teach that type of prospecting. I've always been interested in it, but I've never really applied myself to it, just because I've been lucky enough to do other things. And, and I tell a lot of agents, it's hard. Once you get past the 5-year point, you're usually okay. It's the agents that you find that they tend to have a little bit of disconnect right around year number 2 and 3 and 4.
What Create 21 used to be and now is Accelerate is all about that. It's about going over a lot of different prospecting activities, challenging newer agents or agents who haven't really been super engaged in the business, challenging them to try them out and see what works for you, because that's fabulous that expired listings worked for you. They are not going to work for everyone. It's just it's the way it goes. And when you put on your manager hat, that some people it works great. Other people have a demographic sphere. Other people can make magic at open houses happen. Other people can do for sale by owners. But when you're new or recently
getting out there and doing everything you
got to try it all, because you don't know. I mean, there's no way that someone would have told you, oh, you're going to make, 6 figures off of talking to people who didn't have success listing their house before. You would be like, what? No. Yeah,
exactly.
So you got to try it out. And that's the only way to see what works for you. And I really encourage our newer agents or agents who are newly re-engaged. I say, try it out, and don't try it out once. Try it out.
Consistency.
And it's the same with, for sell by owners. I mean, the thing is the mindset and mentality of a lot of agents is that if someone says they're not interested, they just say, okay, and they don't try again. But the thing is, it's consistency, it's persistence. I mean, it is going after someone 10, 11, 12 times. And see, people don't like that. We want something yesterday. We want it yesterday.
Yeah. You know what? I got to tell you, it's been 45 minutes. I know you probably have other things going on. We love talking to you. So I'm going to just put it out there. Will you come back another time?
Yeah.
Visit us some more.
Gosh, I would love to. Absolutely.
And I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to ask one more thing of you because we don't normally do this.
She gonna get
we're going to do something that we don't normally get to do with our guests. And we're going to ask you
to
dance it out. We sign out with a little dance. Dana and I dance. It's chair dancing, so you're going to be good at it. But it's our little theme song with our end credits. So if you wouldn't mind dancing out with us, it would mean. Oh, you know what? I don't think I shared the audio, Dana. Hold on. I have to share the audio. If I don't share the audio, it doesn't work. And now we're going to dance it out to our little tune, and we're going to say goodbye to Jodi Myers. And thank you so much. We love you so much. And I can't wait to see you very soon. All right. Yes. Dance it out. Bye.
Oh, wait.